Hello everybody and welcome to No Guns Life, episode 21, season 2, episode 9, anime review. This week's episode, we did get stuff done. Tetsuro finished up his fight, Juzo finished up his fight, Juzo started another fight. Lots of fights happening this week and a lot of interesting stuff too. We'll get to the most interesting design decision, we'll call it, later on. But no, it was another solid episode. We're towards the end. Don't know how Juzo's going to win this, but, you know, he's Juzo. He's got to win, so that's good. Anyway, let's get into the episode, see exactly how everything went down, and do this thing. We pick up where we left off with Tetsuro blocking the knife and I'll risk my life for that dream and fighting the dude. Harmony Glow, what he did is he removed his own limits on his extensions so he can fight better. Tetsuro, charges, punches. He ends up winning. He's only an old man. He's a super powered old man, but he is only an old man. Tetsuro wins, does get a hole through his chest, arm, shoulder, around here he gets a hole through. So he's worse for wear, that's for sure. Old man underestimated poor Tetsuro. Poor Tetsuro? Sure. Oral action has an equal reaction. By avoiding the choice now, you are creating a bigger sacrifice in the future. A lot of big things being said here. And then he tells about Colt basically being used as a scapegoat for Spitsbergen and all that and dying in front of him. And he said, hey, the reason you can talk about sacrifice so easily is because you don't know anything about the people you're sacrificing, basically. And that's why he can't do it. Doesn't finish off the old man because he's like, I believe ideals don't always change for the worse with people. Basically saying, hey old man, have a change of heart and be a good guy again. So good stuff there. He sees Tetsuro struggling forward despite his wounds. He's really struggling, by the way. And then his neck gets snapped. I thought he'd snapped his own neck first of all, but that's not what happened. Someone else snapped his neck. We'll get to that later on. But yeah, for the second I was like, oh my god, he just suicided. That's not cool. But it probably also wasn't a snap, it was probably more of a rip. But you get what I'm saying. Point is, old man's dead. That's the important part of this conversation. We got a Juzo who's wondering how long he can last with these needles in and everything. These needles, we find out they can also buff. So he buffs the strong, the guy with a knife, whatever it is, sword. The other one, basically. Super muscles, and not only muscles, boobs. It's a woman. And this design was just weird. It wasn't like hot. It was just, I get that you don't have to be hot, but it was just, they were circles, that's not logical. That's not science. That's not how it works, man. And Juzo really didn't know what to make of that. He was like, please put some clothes on before you attack me. Just, come on, it's not fair. Basically, her bloke died in basically the extended were fighting and her bloke got caught in the crossfire, so she hates all extend, basically. There's a fight, Juzo KOs her in one punch, like a one-punch guy, don't know what he's called. Afterwards spits a lot of cigarettes out, basically that was what was keeping him, in one piece. Needle guy was also buying time for the sponsor of course, who went after the old man. It's the person that ripped off the old man's head, just in case you were wondering. Most people now are in Spitsbergen for the money, it turns out, so it doesn't really... They're not in for the morals of it, for the message. It's all about the cash dosh wonga, as you say. Spitsbergen's actions in doing the terrorism are actually increasing Beruren's profits. So the sponsor, it turns out, is one of Beruren. So they're all in it together, basically, to make the biggest money, sort of. So yeah, who was it that killed the old man? It was Seven. Seven killed the old man. He also took Tetsuro to a nearby alley. I'm not sure why he moved Tetsuro. He could have just conked him out right there and left him, but whatever, Seven, you do you. The woman is not happy with Kanugi, the needle guy, because the woman, the big buff one, because she actually does hate the extend and isn't in this for the money. It's like, you're making a mockery of the message and all that stuff. And then Pepper shows up to make sure that Kanugi doesn't die. Oh, Pepper. Pepper's the other one with the boobs hanging out. I know it's hard to keep track. She's the other one. Got it, guy? Got it. She's not too fond of Kanugi and keeping him alive, but hey, job's a job, basically. Seven brings the old man's head, which is a bit disgusting. Don't know why he had to do that, but what can you do? Juzo's hands abandoned him. I think we already knew that. And so Pepper tries to recruit, not Seven, Juzo. Be like, hey, you can be my tool as well. Seven's not happy about that because all you need is me, damn it. No answers as to what the big boys are up to. You know, the big lads at Baru, and what's their real goal? Is it just money or is it something deeper? Because of that, it's probably something deeper because they wouldn't have brought it up otherwise. If he can beat Seven, she'll say where his hands is. So my guess is his hands is working for Baruran or something. Maybe he's a high up. Who knows? That's my guess so far. Angry Juzo, his Kagane comes out. I don't know what to call it. His back extends basically. Extends. See what I did there? Combat program. She grabs the 7 trigger and pulls out like a Gatling gun type thing. A lot of stuff going on. Meanwhile, Cronin arrives at the scene just nearby. He's the cool guy with the needles, remember. The battle commences. Juzo and Seven are jumping all around the place, doing cool things. It's very nice to see. He can't win though. Juzo can't win because he doesn't have a hands. That's what they're saying. So my guess is either Tetsuro's going to show up and be Juzo's hands for now and help him out, or Juzo's just going to beat him anyway because like, I'm far better than all of you. Kanugi escaped. He's by Tetsuro and he's going to deal with... He's just by him. And then Cronin's there and then they're going to scrap as well because he's like, it's disgrace to our class or something. So they're out to have a fight too. I can't imagine Cronin losing that somehow. But it'll be cool to see a human-on-human fight. There haven't been too many of them, if any. None are coming to mind. So that's a thing. That was the end of the episode. Like I said, I went through it quite quick because I got the cliff notes, the important points in. And it looks like next week Juzo and Seven will be continuing this. Well, it's a double dose of fights. Then we've got that fight over there, this fight over here. Sort of sucks that I thought Tetsuro's fight would last a bit longer, but at the same time, Tetsuro's not really a fighter, so it kind of makes sense. Anyway, let's get to what was my favourite part of the episode. So what I normally like to do is show the little clip of my favourite part right here, but in the last week or so, I've had a lot of copyright claims because of it, so sorry about that, but that's going away. I'll still talk about my favourite part, I just can't show the clip. Don't blame me, blame Japan. Probably not the whole country, but whoever's responsible, blame them. It's not my fault. Anyway, what my favourite part of the episode was, I mean, it was quite obvious. It wasn't too much of a stretch to call it the most obvious. It's Juzo versus Seven with them jumping all around the place. It was awesome. It was like spider monkeys. But yeah, I like that a lot. It's nice to see that despite, despite I think we're getting the bulk of the fight next week, I would imagine. Nice to see we got a little bit. It's a little taster to what we'll probably get next week. Didn't expect them to be jumping all over the place because they're not. You look at them, they're not really. They don't look like Spider-Man. They look more like Gun Man. That's great content there. But yeah, should be good. This was good. This episode was pretty good. We got what, 3 episodes left, I think, and that's not a lot. So hopefully they can wrap this up to a nice little bow. I'm sure it will. We'll figure this out. It'll be good. Yeah, I can't think of too much else to say, so I'll just wrap this up, I guess. Thank you everybody for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing and stuff. For more reviews, that would help me out a lot. I will see you next week for another episode of this. Take care, and bye guys.